A Body at a Boarding School, a 1920s mystery. Lord Edgington Investigates, Book 2. By Benedict Brown. Read by George Blagden. Chapter 1. I'd never seen any point in running. It's too much like having a long, drawn-out heart attack, but with no light at the end of the tunnel. I finally came to see its benefits, though, on the day that the Marshall brothers chased me out of Latin class, screaming, "We'll bash your head in, roly-poly!" Zooming along the sixth form corridor, like Harold Abrahams winning the sprint at the 1924 Olympics, I was an absolute rocket. I shot down the stairs and out of school before they could catch up. I knew that I only needed to reach the toilet block, and then I could lock myself away until break time was over. While this meant that I would be going without food for 10 whole hours, in a row, Oakton Academy's lunches were about as appetizing as a plate of mud with a sprinkling of parsley on top. As I sped across the quad, there were no other boys in sight. I could see the entrance to the toilets not 50 yards away, and a feeling of joy swelled up within me. For one fleeting moment, I thought, yes, I'm actually going to make it. I might not die today after all. But then I spotted Marmaduke Adelaide rounding the corner behind the Marshall brothers, and I knew I didn't stand a chance. Marmalade, as I tried not to call him to his face, was the fastest and fiercest pupil in the history of Oakton Academy. Every last boy in the school lived in perpetual dread of him. The instant I realized he was on my trail, I jumped behind a row of bushes and hurried towards the chapel instead. My only hope was that the three terrors hadn't spotted me, and I could slip away to that holy sanctuary unnoticed. As I entered through its lofty wooden portal, I was momentarily concerned that our brimstone-loving chaplain might be there. After a few nervous seconds, I was confident that the church was empty, and so I dashed down the aisle to hide between the pews. I'd always found the chapel to be a calm, relaxing place, and loved the way the golden beams of sunlight broke through the stained glass window of St. George and the Dragon each morning. My friends and I used to hide in there to get out of playing rugby, but any solace the church had once offered was forgotten when I heard the brothers' voices outside. I held my breath and waited to discover my fate. I have to admit this was an awfully silly thing to do, as I had to let it back out again at the very moment that the door swung open.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?